All right, this is the kind of step-by-step instructions for Tuesday for your compare contrast characters performance task with supports. Okay, so Tuesday, April 28th is blocked off right here, and the first step is to complete the idea generator. You can use this resource. This has a list of comparing and contrasting words and sentence frames to help you if need be. And the picture activity slideshow we did too had an awesome list of that vocabulary. But we're going to start by looking at our first section. The first section we need to do is the introductory sentence or thesis sentence. That's where we're going to introduce both characters by name and mention that they have similarities or differences. The example thesis we have here is Elsa and Anna share many similarities and a few differences. So you're going to take the two characters you were thinking about. I originally wrote about Mars and Jose. So I will say, I would take this section here and write Mars, and I will delete these lines here, and Jose share some similarities and a few differences. Make sure I get rid of that space. And there where it says fill in the blanks with the names of your two characters, you can delete that out, okay? So I'm really just filling in the blanks for sentence one. We have the sentence structure for you, okay? Next up are the comparison sentences. We're going to start with kind of a transition sentence here, color-coded yellow, that tells that there's a similarity between the two characters. So I'm going to pick one thing that was similar to talk about. So, for example, thinking about Elsa and Anna, both characters are alike because they are both good friends. So I'm going to think, what's a similarity? I think I might choose bravery for Mars and Jose. Even though Jose is kind of not so smart, he's definitely brave to try to do things that he's maybe not skilled enough to do. So in these two blanks, I'm going to write both Mars and Jose. So don't just type on those lines, delete those lines. So when you copy and paste it below, it looks like a clean sentence, okay? Both Mars and Jose are alike because, and you notice I have Grammarly in it, it's like on me if I have a mistake. Both Mars and Jose are alike because they, are both brave. And there's a period already there, so cool. And then I have to correct my spelling of because I deleted that. That's it for this sentence. I'm just going to choose the one thing that's similar, and that I'm going to say is that they're brave. All right. Now I'm going to have to give the evidence for this. So this is where we can use our memory, or we can go back. Remember up here we have the links to the stories, and I could open up the story actually to try to remember something. I could open up and re-listen to the podcast. I'm not going to do that right now as I'm talking to you. But I have to give evidence. So I'll start with Mars again. I'll just keep that consistent. Mars showed this when he, and I'm going to delete that /she. That was there to kind of guide people, but Mars is a boy. So Mars showed this when he decided to go alone to Pruitt Prep on Mars to save Aurora. Period. He let his friends go home, and he decided to go alone to Pruitt Prep to Mars to save his friend Aurora, which he had promised to do. Now, Jose, that's my next sentence. Jose also showed this when, and I can delete she, when he decided to play racquet ball against the very strong Estella, even though he had never played before. That takes bravery, right? See, what did I do wrong? Racquetball. Oops, needed a C. All right, I'm going to correct that. 1 second, honey. I'm making a video, okay? So you can see I just kind of went ahead and did that, but you do have a description of what that's providing evidence is, and then the example with Elsa and Anna here, okay? Next up, the contrasting sentences. So for that first transitional sentence, now I got to tell the reader Now I have to tell the reader we're moving into talking about their differences, okay? So I'll keep up with that consistent using Mars first, Mars and Jose. Will you shut the door, honey? Thank you. Are different because of their view on honesty. I don't want to make that too complicated, but I'm going to talk about how Jose is not very honest and Mars is. So because one's more honest than the other, you could write, I'm saying because of their view on honesty. And I'm going to scroll down and how do I support that? So the evidence, providing evidence for this says support the differences you wrote about with evidence from the sources. Here's our example from Elsa and Anna. Unlike Elsa, Anna is very silly and even goofy at times. This is shown when she says, when we finish each other's sandwiches. Elsa differs from Anna because she is more serious and shy. This is shown when Elsa runs away to be alone. So I have to do this. Okay, so unlike Jose, Mars likes to tell the truth, even if it gets him in trouble. This is shown when, and I always delete those lines, when he tells Mr. Q he's worried about Jonas and keeps telling the adults something is wrong with his disappearance. I hope my dog chewing on this bully stick in the back is not distracting. All right. And then I would delete this, add evidence if possible, right? We don't need to leave those clues in there. All right. Then I need to do the same thing about Jose. So now I'm going to fill in the blank here because the first one I was writing about Mars. Jose differs from Mars because Jose isn't always honest. This is shown when Jose lies to Estella about winning racquetball championships, right? I got to remember how to spell racquetball. Or tournaments, racquetball tournaments. And I'm going to delete that clue about adding evidence, all right? Last step is a concluding sentence. So I'm just going to restate the characters' names, basically, and remind people that they have similarities and differences. Kind of a boring sentence. So I'm just going to delete this line again. Although Mars and Jose are characters with many similarities, they also differ greatly. So that's it. When it comes to writing your plan, you're looking at what you're supposed to do on the left side, looking at the example, and then either filling in the blanks or coming up with your own sentences on the right, okay? That's what you need to do on Tuesday. On Thursday, we're going to work on copying and pasting that and building a paragraph out of it and editing to turn it in, okay?